In this past year, we've been following up with Long Beach Transit as they have been keeping their passengers and staff very safe, as well as partnering up with local community partnerships. And so today here we have CEO of Long Beach Transit, Kenneth McDonald, joining us here today. How are you doing this morning?
I am doing wonderful this morning, Jasmine.
So it marks a year anniversary as we have essentially gone into a lockdown situation, and it seems to be easing up after 1 year now. But looking back, how's Long Beach Transit been able to manage this entire year, also in comparison to other years?
It's been a very difficult and unprecedented year. I think for everyone, that's the word, the new word that have made it to the top. Unprecedented. It's been the same for Long Beach Transit. It has been a year since this started affecting us, and we have made dramatic changes to our system, cutting some of our service, modifying the way we operated, a lot of cleaning and disinfecting our system. But it has been very positive in that we've been able to move people who were essential workers wanting to get to their job over that year. So as much as we have had a lot of changes, we've done a lot of good with people who needed the service even more during the pandemic.
Yeah, absolutely. And so, what are some of the challenges that Long Beach Transit has encountered to begin with, and how were they able to also overcome them in this year?
Yeah, one of the largest was the whole point of social distancing on our buses. We and keeping our operators safe as we tried to social distance. So we had to limit the number of people that could be on a bus at the same time. We looked at about one of our 40-foot buses had about 12. Once we got to over 12, going to 15, we got another relay bus and added in to help in terms of alleviating the problem of too many people on the vehicle. That and making sure that we clean the vehicles regularly, give our operators the proper equipment to PPEs, that personal protective equipment, that they could safely operate the vehicles, and then be able to make sure that the vehicles ran on time in the places that it was needed, because there were so many changes that we had to make almost on the dime. As it happened, we changed it. So things were changing while we were changing things. So it was one of those very difficult times that you had to, and we did ask for a lot of patience from people, from our customers, from our operators, because none of us knew what it is that was happening. So we had to make changes on the fly. Sometimes you made a change this week and next week we survived all of that. I really believe we survived all of that, and we are in a better place now that we are getting into vaccination. So I see a brighter future for transit and for the city, and I'm truly looking forward to that.
Yes, well, speaking upon the vaccine and, of course, maintaining the well-being and safety of staff and passengers, staff will be receiving the vaccine?
Yes. So we have all the transit workers are now authorized to get the vaccine, or it happened about a week ago, and so I am encouraging all our employees to go get the vaccine, protect yourself, protect your family, protect the community that we serve, because the more of us that get the vaccine, the less likely we would see this virus rearing its ugly head and putting us back where we all do not want to go. So I would really encourage everyone to go get the vaccine. It's all open for all transit workers now, and soon it will be for as our president said. The president said in his message a couple of days ago that by May everyone should be able to get a vaccine. So we're looking forward to that and coming back to some quote normalcy, whatever that is, as we move forward.
And how does that process look like for Long Beach Transit staff when they are getting the vaccine? As you've mentioned, last week they started rolling them out for your staff. How does that process look like?
Well, we are encouraging our employees. We did a couple of things at Long Beach Transit. First, a couple of months ago, we started testing on site. We hired a medical doctor and an operation to come on site and test employees. We conducted over 2,500 tests on Tuesdays and Thursdays at our property. Started now encouraging people to go down to and get the vaccine. And a number of employees have already done that. Employees continue to do it. As far as the operators are all being encouraged to go down and get their vaccines. So a lot of the Long Beach Transit employees have gotten their first vaccine and are in the process to getting their second vaccine so that we can, get to that place where we feel that we're heading out of this onto the other side of it.
So I know you've been saying how you do encourage them to get the vaccine. How about those that are a little bit on the offense against getting the vaccine? See if they have to continue at least to take an active antigen test or anything if they were not quite comfortable in getting the vaccine yet, perhaps later down the line, but not yet.
Yeah. So we are still we were still as of last week conducting the antigen test still. We are going to have at some point cease doing that and encourage employees once you get to the point where the vaccines are now available and they are becoming available and Long Beach Transit operators are now part of the population that can go down and get the test now. So I am encouraging folks to do that and reaching out. We're doing a lot of internal marketing to get folks to try to get everyone. My goal is to get maybe 80 to 90% of the people to at least in the early part of this to go down, and then we'll see what happened with the folks who may have had trepidation and how we can help them to understand what it can do to protect themselves, to protect the community, to protect our other employees. So it's really important that we encourage. We cannot force anyone to go, but encourage people to go down and protect yourself and your family.
Mm-hmm. Have you had the vaccine already?
I did. I took it my second one is sometime at the end of this month. So earlier this month, I did take it.
Did you experience any symptoms or anything after the first shot?
Outside of a sore arm, I did not have anything else. My arms were sore for like a day or two. I am fearful of needles, so maybe it was part of it was mental, but I didn't have any effect outside of a sore arm.
That's for the most part, that's what's being said. So it's not as detrimental for the most part, let's just say that. So since it has been the past year of this unprecedented turmoil and navigating on the fly, how is Long Beach Transit moving forward now that the vaccine is rolling out? What further measures are Long Beach Transit taking in order to ensure that there's a little bit more of a fluid, timely schedule as well for transportation and more access for passengers to ride as well?
Yeah, that's a very, very important question and where we are. So we continue to our aggressive cleaning procedures. That's very important that we continue to make sure that any high touch area on the vehicles are cleaned regularly. We are in the process of installing a protective barrier between the operators so that we can limit their exposure to passengers getting on the buses. When we first started this about a year ago, we encouraged and started the whole process of boarding the bus through the back door. Once we can get the vaccination and we can install our protective barriers, continue our cleaning, our intention is to go back to front door boarding because in the last year, Long Beach Transit have not collected any revenue on our vehicles. We cannot forever continue that, but our intent is that we want to do it when we return to collecting revenue, that we do it safely and make sure that everyone, customers, operators, employees who are involved in cleaning the vehicles are all protected and making sure that we are ready to go back into that place where we can get to what I often say, quote, normalcy.
Absolutely. We are getting there bit by bit, step by step. Well, thank you so much, Kenneth McDonald, for speaking to us here today. Now, for any people that are curious as to where to look for more information on Long Beach Transit and also perhaps what transportation offers there are, where can they find that?
Our website is the most appropriate place to get all of our information. And I know Justin is here with us. Justin is our communication officer who can add a little bit more to that. So it's a good question that she stayed on it.
Hello.
But so Justin, if you can add some more about how they can contact us.
With Long Beach Transit is definitely via our website. We are making updates to there whenever there's any update to our service. And on top of that, we like to connect with the community by social media. If anyone already follows us, you'll know that we're very active. If you don't already follow us, we highly encourage you to do so, not only to know about our service and any changes there, but also to know, how we promote different items in the community. We're always looking to promote our small businesses in the area. We actually run some fun contests too. So it's a great way to stay connected, not only with Long Beach Transit, but with the community as well. And then lastly, we rolled out a new tool, Hello LBT. So it's a text message alert system. If there's ever any big change to our service, anything that customers need to know immediately, you get an immediate text. So if you go to ridelbt.com/connect, you'll see all these different ways that I mentioned that you can stay on board with LBT as we ride through this wave together.
Incredible. Well, there's a lot of information to unpack there, and everybody keeping very safe and well and healthy. Well, it's very good seeing both of you, Jocelyn and Kenneth McDonald. Thank you so much for joining us here at Long Beach.
So one thing I'd like to say before we end, I want to thank there are a number of people I want to just say thank you to, and specifically our operators and our mechanics who have kept the vehicles running during these unprecedented times. I want to also thank all of the other employees who have been involved in making sure people get paid, working from home, coming in and making sure that the organization never ceased operation. And then finally, I want to thank the health department and our mayor, Robert Garcia, because they did a great job in that whole point of how the city handled all that was happening while we were going through these times. The parklets that you see around the street, how we coordinated it with transit to make sure that it was done properly. The whole point about vaccination and getting our employees vaccinated and our operators in the right places. So I just want to put a thank you to all the people in this unknown to where we are looking at some known, not all of the known, but some known going forward. So I wanted to just say thank you to all of those folks that I mentioned there.
Yes. Well, you have also, as a Long Beach Transit, have been very, very supportive of the community. Month to month, you've been partnering up with a lot of great organizations to support them, whether that be like in December with the tote bags and also creating more artistic areas in Long Beach. So Long Beach Transit has been keeping everybody safe and at the same time adding some color into the city and keeping it as vibrant as possible in this time. And now we obviously are looking forward to a little bit more normalcy as we see the rise and more access of the vaccination as well. Well, thank you so much, Jocelyn and Kenneth McDonald. We will be sure to follow up with you again. And so for more local news, please do head on over to longbeachlocalnews.com. I'm Yasmin Tanris.